good news is that I put these in my car, I drove around, and the car's driving great, and the engine sounds great. This morning on the way to get my coffee, the car just died when I shifted into second on a small neighborhood road, and engine wouldn't restart. The obvious thing was to reach in the glove box and pull out a spare relay and see if switching the fuel pump relays would fix it. The first one didn't help, but the second one, the engine started right up. So this is the bad relay. This is a German one. It's been in the car for a long time. And so what I have here is a power supply that can provide 12 volts. And I've hooked the negative up to, what does it say there? Hooked the negative up to 86 and the positive up to 85. And it's important you hook it up in that order because the red relays have a diode between them. So it only lets the current flow one direction. So here I'm going to turn on the power supply, provide some voltage, and we'll hear a click. So that's all good. So the next thing is what this is doing is when power is applied, there's an electric switch in here. And so right now with no power, there is no resistance between that pin and this pin. And when I apply power, there'll be no resistance between these two pins. And so it all seems like this relay is actually working okay here on the table. So here we see it unpowered. And now turn it on. And first of all, you'll see that this one and this one, there's no more continuity. And this one and this one now have continuity. So there's more resistance on that one. So I'm not sure what the significance is of that resistance there. It could be that it's not letting enough current through to the fuel pump, or it could be this thing just needed to get bumped and the relay magically started working. So turned off the power, and I guess I have to open it up and look for a mechanical issue with the switch, because this thing is probably 30, 40 years old. My 930 is from 1979. All right, and this is pretty funny. Just for curiosity, I went and got the good red relay out of my car and hooked it up the same as the bad one that's over there. And I got it hooked up here, and I give it the 12 volts, and there's no click. There's no click. So, how can you have a relay that doesn't click when it gets power? So now the juice is off, and I'll compare the continuity here. And you can see it's got continuity, and the other side has none. Now I turn the power on. And this should be open now. And look at that, it's not open. And I'm not setting these prongs properly, but yeah. So here I turn the power off, Doesn't make any difference. So this is in fact a dead relay. It's the one I took out and replaced with black to get the engine started. So I'm thinking I've been driving with a dead relay this whole time, and now I have two dead relays for some reason. I put the black one in and motor started, but it's funny, this is actually a bad relay. Right in here we have the black one that came out of my glove box. And let's give it some juice here. See what happens. Click, 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 click. So it's good, and it's pulling 0.135 amps. So it's a couple watts to keep that coil energized so that the switch is in place. And let's test the resistance here for the switched relay. It's hard to get the probe on the crosshair. There we go. And it's open. So this black one is actually good. The red one that I thought was good is broken. The red one I thought was bad seems to be working. And so I put the good relays in, and let's see what happens. Seems to be driving. Yeah, and engine sounds good. Okay, and so while I was fretting and being pissed off about having to use these unreliable ancient electromechanical relays, somebody on Pelican pointed out that there's a company called Restoration Design in the great nation of Canada that in fact makes 5-pin solid state relays. And so this is the modern solution, and they basically last forever. And so here we go. I've hooked it up to the power supply, and give it a little juice. I didn't know solid state relays made it click. Well, anyway, that's odd. So now I got my multimeter. Yep. So we're going to test from this guy to this guy, and it's off, and this one is on. And then turn the power off, and we should have them between these two. Hard to hold it with my pinky, but I'll get some readings from it. Let's see. So that should give me ohms on the auto read. All right, and the answer is it's 0.4 ohms on each leg. So I guess I just try them out in the car and see how they work. And I'm going to look up and see how SSRs are supposed to make noise. Okay, I just went back to the website, and nowhere does it say that these are solid state relays. Only place that says that is the user comments on the Pelican forum. So the Restoration Design website just claims these are modern components with low EMI. So it's probably a good relay. It's a modern relay, but it is not an SSR. So I guess I paid 50 bucks for a well-engineered Canadian relay. Well, that's too bad. I was hoping there was some kind of innovation that would get me away from these electromagnetic things, but yeah, Restoration Design gave specs for the coil. So I guess in my optimism, I didn't read the fine print. So anyway, I guess let's hope this thing gives me many years of service. I got 2 of them. So last little thing here. Here's the broken red relay or the not trustworthy red relay that I took out of my car, and hooked it up, red to red, black to black. Turn it on and off. Can hear it switching. And now I'm gonna switch the sides on this thing. So now I'm running the voltage the wrong way. Give it power. And what do you know? No current, no switchy. So this is the original relay that has the diode. Now we got the new relay, the Canadian relay, and red to red, black to black. See there? And you can hear it clicking. Now I reverse the sides. And it still switches. So what that means is this well-engineered modern Canadian relay doesn't have the diode in place. I thought the diode was needed for the high RPM cutoff switch. You know, I could be wrong, but that's a little disappointing. Yeah, that sounds like a nicer startup. Let's see. Yeah, we got a beautiful morning, and engine just sounds just better. Maybe that's the sound of it being properly fueled. So it takes some time for the engine to warm up. So I'm not really going to rev it until the engine's warm. But yeah, I can say it definitely, the engine just sounds a lot happier. I mean, especially cold. It used to be so rumbly and kind of hesitant. And now it's like, just responds immediately. Nice. So the good news is that I put these in my car and drove around, and the car's driving great and the engine sounds great. I think I've been suffering with these crappy relays for a long time and not realizing it. Car, especially at low RPM, just seems a lot more responsive. So who knows? It's all magical thinking at this point.